Okay, this section of notes is going to cover questions. If you could open your notebook to the first available blank page, we can begin these notes. Alright, so forming questions. In Spanish, there are 4 ways for us to form questions. First, we have using question words, which we've discussed throughout chapters 1 and 2. Reversing the subject and the verb, adding a tag word, and using inflection. So this section of notes is going to discuss each of these 4 ways in detail. So with question words, you're already familiar with several words used for asking information questions. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? ¿Dónde están ellos? Where are they? ¿Por qué está ella allí? Why is she there? And ¿cuándo es la clase de español? These are the first 4 question words. Okay, here are a few more. ¿Quién es de Cancún? Who is from Cancún? ¿Quiénes son ellos? Who are they? ¿Cuánto es? How much is it? And ¿cuántos hay? How many are there? You'll notice that with both quién and quiénes, cuánto and cuántos, there's a singular and a plural form of the question. The singular form is used when we're talking about one thing, and the plural form is used when we're talking about more than one thing. Alright, next section. ¿Qué es? What is it? ¿Cuál es tu cuaderno? Which one is your notebook? ¿Cuáles son? Which ones are they? ¿Cuál and cuáles are just like quién and quiénes. They have a singular form and a plural form. Singular form is used when we're referring to one thing, and the plural when we're referring to 2 or more. Unlike que, cuál or cuáles is never followed by a noun. So, ¿qué autobús tomas? What bus are you taking? Versus, ¿cuál de los autobuses tomas? Which of the buses are you taking? So, ¿cuál is usually followed by a verb, or it can be followed by day, it can be followed by anything as long as it's not followed by a noun. Alright, reversing subject and verbs. To create a question without using a question word, you need to reverse the subject and the verb. This is the equivalent of adding do or does in English. These words don't exist in Spanish. So for example, Marco tiene un carro nuevo is a sentence that means Marco has a new car. If I swap the subject and the verb, then I have the question, ¿Tiene Marco un carro nuevo? Does Marco have a new car? This is why that upside down question mark is so important in Spanish, because it reminds us that a question is coming even though we don't have a question word to signal it. Alright, adding a tag word. This is the 3rd way to form a question in Spanish. You can add the words to add words to the sentence to turn it into a question. So for example, Marco tiene un carro nuevo, ¿no? Means Marco has a new car, doesn't he? The no is the part that means doesn't he. This is something that we already do in English. Marco tiene un carro nuevo, ¿verdad? Means Marco has a new car, right? Again, just like we do in English. Alright, and then the last way is inflection. You can create a question simply by the way you pronounce a sentence. You can turn a sentence into a question by raising your voice at the end. For example, the sentence Marco tiene un carro nuevo is just a sentence. But if you ask it in a questioning way, you can say Marco tiene un carro nuevo, as if you have doubt. And it's almost like your voice raises at the end of the sentence. Alright, please go back through the notes. Make sure that you took detailed notes. If you have questions about anything, make sure you've jotted those in the Las Preguntas section of your notes. If you don't have questions, make sure that you wrote down at least 3 review questions so that you get full credit for the notes tomorrow. Again, either 3 questions over information you didn't understand, or 3 review questions, or some combination of those 2 things. Thanks!